Well, good morning and welcome back to our interview series. It gives me great pleasure this afternoon to introduce Philip from Visitor Chat. Philip's one of the directors there. So welcome, Philip. How are you?
Very nice to talk to you today, Steve. Let me explain a little bit about what we do here
Perfect.
at Visitor Chat. We are a UK-based company in Portsmouth. We're at Lakeside. We were established in October 2015. And what we do is what it says on the tin. We provide live chat. So it's 24/7 managed live chat. It's real people, not bots.
Okay.
And
Nice.
we work in very specific industries. And I'll come on to that in a second. The company was formed by two brothers, one of whom was previously in the automotive business. The other brother was a computer expert, or is a computer expert. And they decided that they would form the company and provide live chat to car dealerships.
Okay.
And so the first of our industry sectors is automotive. We also, since a few years ago now, we branched out into real estate, and this year we branched into recruitment.
Amazing.
Really, it's the type of websites that people go on to outside of normal office hours, either
Okay.
to buy a car, find a property, or find a job, or advertise a job. So that is essentially what we do. We also have a US subsidiary, which we started just over 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago now. But that is purely focused on the automotive. And even in the UK, the automotive is still very much, our core business.
So kind of being from the tech industry then, and obviously that awful couple of years that everyone had, every industry had. What was the effects of COVID through that kind of high tech industry? You said you've got people that not bots, they're people. So what was the impact from COVID kind of on you guys?
It was huge. Initially, first of all, there was COVID everywhere, people being furloughed. Our chatters are actually all over the world. We have, offices and people in the UK, the US, the Philippines, other places in the Middle East. And of course, COVID impacted everybody. So we had difficulty in providing live chat.
Okay.
But at the same time, all our clients were also suffering. So a lot of the car dealerships, well, they had to close like everybody else. But that actually meant that more people started using web chat. And so what we saw was we were having difficulty in fulfilling that, but we managed. But we were also losing clients who were saying, well, we can't afford to pay for a service that we're not really, not even open. So we can't sell cars really.
Yeah.
Um,
So coming off the back of that time, then is there any kind of key learnings? Did you, as a global organization with, if I can, field workers that are all around the world, they're supporting the service that you provide. Is there any real key learnings then that came out of that's kind of stayed with the organization and stayed as part of your ongoing strategy?
Absolutely. And it's a question of not putting all your eggs in one basket. So if you've got all your chatters in one location and COVID hits that location, you're up the creek without a paddle.
Yeah.
And so that's what we learned. And therefore we did, in fact, then engage and diversify, if you like.
Yeah.
The other thing that we did to keep our client base, and this was the big thing that we did, and I think that we did very well, was, even though it cost us quite a lot of money, we offered our clients a payment holiday.
Okay.
So rather than they stopping the service, we carried on the service for them, but we gave them a 3 months free, basically.
Yeah. So it kind of kept them on board as customers, kept them engaged. So coming out the back of the pandemic, they were still customers and paying rather than having to refill that customer bank for yourself.
Absolutely. And what we also found then was, during the course of the pandemic, when the chat was being used, it was being used about 35 to 40% more than pre-pandemic.
Right.
And so and our lead conversion rate, so, we don't sell anything. What we do is we qualify customers.
Yeah.
So, if someone goes onto a website and says, "Oh, hello, is the red Ford still available?" Where our chatters can see what the person on the other end is looking at, and can cut and paste a picture of the red Ford into the chat and say, "Do you mean this one?" And then ask the right questions. So, is it going to be a cash purchase? Are you looking for trade-in? Are you looking for financing? When's the best time for you to come and have a test drive? When can the dealership call you back? What's the best way of contacting you? And the last thing we ask for is the name and contact details.
Okay. So kind of coming out the back of that then, if COVID was a huge uplift for you guys, but not without its challenges. Would you say that since 2015, obviously quite young going into COVID really as a business, what are the other big challenges you face? Have you seen big changes within industries? Are you finding that going into recruitment versus the motor trade is a very different business model for you? What are the other challenges you're facing at the moment, Philip?
Well, one of the things that we also faced, the challenge during the pandemic, was, we had lots of our clients calling in, wanting to discuss what was happening, etc., etc. We learned from that we needed to look after our customers very well, so we expanded our account management team.
Okay.
And so now every single one of our clients has a dedicated account manager who they know, they speak to every 3 months. And that has really improved our customer service. And in fact, so much so, I'm absolutely delighted that in the last 3 months, we've run 2 prestigious business awards for our customer service.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We are very, very proud of those. And our, reviews on Google and Facebook and LinkedIn, they are superb. So we are, touch wood, we're doing the right thing. And the other challenge is in general, just finding good staff.
I think that's probably the most common challenge I'm hearing at the moment from a lot of business owners.
It's really difficult. We've been very, very lucky on the account management side, and we've had very, very little churn. However, half of our business is on sales. And our churn rate has been incredibly high. And that's just because we cannot find the right people.
So obviously kind of like finding the right people and connecting into your marketplace. Quite often that's also about, the motivation behind the company. So what kind of keeps live chat, visitor chat motivated? What's your purpose? What's the reason behind this visitor chat?
Well, I think the big purpose for us is, and our motivation is helping others, because what we do is, by providing our service, we help other businesses grow. We want to increase their sales. We want to increase their effectiveness. So we work in partnership to grow together. And obviously, growth is a huge motivator for us. We are now being recognized in the community of live chat providers as being a force to be reckoned with.
Nice.
Our 2 main competitors are both American companies. They're both very good. They do exactly what we do, except they don't have the customer service that we do. And our customer service is second to none. And we are slightly cheaper. And So we are now winning from a very small company as was a big business
Nice.
from some very nice clients, and our growth rate is incredible. We've doubled our turnover in the last 2 years.
Brilliant. So I guess that leads me on to a big question then. So what does the future look like? What's the future goals? Where is Visitor Chat going? Do you have an end goal, or kind of what does the next couple of years look like for you guys?
I think for us, the future looks very bright. The way of doing business has changed tremendously. There's more and more online. We are still developing our products. We don't use artificial, AI bots at the moment. But however, we do recognize that there is a place for bots. That's particularly on sort of the retail side. So I think that we are doing our own research at the moment into AI bots and how you could actually merge it with a human element. And to see and explore what other industries we might go into. So, for example, how many people moan about trying to phone up a doctor's surgery and get an appointment?
100%.
Could you do that online?
Yeah.
Is there a human element, that you can put into there, or is there an appointment system that you could put onto a chat?
Yeah.
So they're the things that we're exploring. But for us, I think not only are we growing in the UK, still increasing our market share on the automotive side, which is now up to about 15% of all dealerships now have a visitor chat box, which is something we're very proud of. But also the other industries, but also the States, and the market in the States is huge. We have our office based in California. Where you take the number of car dealerships in California, it's more than in the UK.
Oh, for sure. And I guess really then it leads me into kind of really my last question for you, Philip. Then it's like, so having experienced that level of growth and opened into markets that are, I guess, new at the time in 2015 and provided the technology maybe to industries that weren't utilizing that. What advice would you give to someone looking to go into business? What advice, would you be looking to give to someone? What's the habits? What's the elements that they've got to have in order to make a success of it? What do you believe is kind of like this success behind Visitor Chat?
Well, I think the success behind Visitor Chat is, first of all, we have a business plan. We have a solid business plan that was in place before we started. We knew what we wanted to achieve by when, and we still do. We try and say, well, what do we want to achieve by this time frame? How do we best do that? What's our USP compared to the competition? We have to understand what opportunities there are. And I would recommend that to any new business person. Know what your opportunities are, but also what the risks are, and be flexible, and then react quickly. So if things start going wrong, take decisive action. Don't dilly-dally and dither, because otherwise your business will not succeed. So work hard when things are going well, and work harder when things don't go quite so well.
Be ready to react and respond to the marketplace and other challenges that are thrown in.
Absolutely.
That's brilliant.
Life throws us all sorts of challenges.
100%. Some expected and some not, right?
Absolutely.
Well, look, Philip, thank you ever so much for your time today. There's an immense amount of value in that, and I think congratulations on the awards. Congratulations on such aggressive and successful growth over the last couple of years as well.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, Steve.
And you, Philip. Thanks a lot. And look, I wish you all the best for the future. And thanks for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Take care.
bye bye.
Bye bye.